Hey, Valerie, how you doing? Or Veronica, I'm sorry. I only need Valerie at it. Oh. Hello, hello.
Hello, everyone.
How are we all doing?
Hello.
Hello.
Good.
Okay. Uh-oh. Hopefully I didn't. Well, no, I did it. Okay. How's everybody doing?
Good.
All right, everybody have a good lunch?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. I need to, let's see, somebody, was it Jean? Yes. Well, there's one of hers. Put that over there. Yeah, I ended up closing the thing that I didn't want to close. Anyway, but I'm getting it open, and we'll get going again. Okay. Throw in these two into the mix. Did everybody have a good lunch? Anna? Was it not long enough? You're not?
Yes. Enough.
Okay. All right, good. I've got them back. I hate when that happens. I've got too many windows, and you know, I hit the wrong thing and it closed. Anyhow, so we're going to kind of pick it up where we left off at, and I'm going to start sharing some of, some more of the things that we were looking at this morning, and we'll try to get through them all by the end of the day. Okay? Because we got a few. All right. Let's get down. We were talking to Bob, as I remember. And yeah, I think we were looking at this one. And this was a Maurice Pendergrass painting that he basically copied. The difference in Pendergrass and him is obviously that Pendergrass painted in oil. Bob's doing this in watercolor. Is Bob with us at this point? Did he make it back? Well, Bob, where are you? Guess not. Okay. Well, he may show up a little bit later on. And then I think we looked at something similar to this.
Yeah, but it was in black, I think.
Right, yeah.
Yep.
It was, yeah, that one was Winslow Homer. I think this is
Right.
something that he's doing on his own. And again, same kind of basic approach, technique, So I think this is probably that black gouache he was talking about to make some stronger dark lines. And then we have this piece. Now this piece in particular I found kind of interesting, and like what he was doing with it. I wish he were here so he could tell us more about it. But it looks like a couple of birds, probably fussing with each other, it looks like.
Like blackbirds, supposedly, I think.
You think a blackbird? Yeah,
I think it looks supposed to be a blackbird or something, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
Like red-winged blackbirds.
It's very interesting because of the feathers. It looks really modern.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Yes, but yeah, it still looks Native American a little bit too.
Yeah, it actually kind of reminded me of something more like Aztec, Toltec, kind of
Right.
Central American.
Right.
But yeah, he's got the color on the wings.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was kind of thinking maybe Orioles or something like that, but
Maybe.
or somebody said red-winged blackbirds. I'm not exactly sure what the pattern is on those. So, but it's an interesting piece. And
Very interesting.
it looks like watercolor on watercolor paper. I hate to talk for people because I'm only guessing. This is another of his pieces, and again, looks like it's probably on a maybe illustration board or watercolor paper, something
It's like
heavy.
water-
Yeah, and it looks like he's doing some train cars inside of a shed.
No.
All right,
Yeah, I'm on. Okay.
all right.
Hello.
Bob, are you on?
I'm on, sir.
Yay! You finally made it. Okay.
Yeah, a little late. A little late. That's. I'm certainly not the late Bob Homer, but close.
Okay. Well, that's fine. Okay. So do me a favor. We were just
Sure.
talking about this piece right here. Tell us a
Okay.
little bit about it.
This is Walter Anderson, and this is the piece that this is his Dead Blackbirds piece that he did.
Okay.
So this was a copy of his. I say copy. I tried to do the best I could with my limited abilities.
Okay. All right. All right. So, okay. I was curious about that piece. And we were speculating, and looking at it, it looked almost something like would be from Central or South America, like Toltec, Aztec.
Right. Yeah, I can understand that.
Yeah. But, it's an interesting piece.
It is.
And then, what's the story behind this thing?
This is a Bob Homer original. The idea came from a postcard. My wife's grandparents collected postcards, and this was from like an 1890s postcard that they had gotten this idea. So I decided to do this pen and ink and watercolor.
Okay. And is this supposed to be any particular harbor or anything like that?
I think it's up. Let's see, Lake Ontario maybe, or one of the lakes, one of the Great Lakes. I think this is where it came from. They had some friends that were visiting there, and they sent them a postcard. The building behind, I think, is a hotel. A great building is.
Yeah, it kind of. I was kind of thinking, maybe it was like one of like Charleston, something like that. One of those southern.
No, I'm sure this is from the north. This is from up, say Great Lakes, or even it could be off the Atlantic, New England area as well.
Okay. All right. And then you did these trains.
This time, just for the purposes.
Okay, this is a Birchfield. This is a study of his work.
Okay. Now, was this done in acrylic?
I'm sorry?
Was this done in acrylic or watercolor?
No, it's watercolor.
Oh, okay. Well, I saw the two acrylic lane, so I didn't know whether.
Well, I'll give you, if you have a pen.
Whoever's talking back there in the background, can we get you to mute yourself?
It's an abbreviated form of the word.
I guess not. Okay, here.
SISS at light.
Just mute us all.
I will for now. Okay. Share. All right. And Bob, can you unmute yourself, please?
I am unmuted now.
All right, thank you. Okay. So you were saying this is a Birchfield?
Birchfield, yes. I don't remember his first name.
Okay. Yeah, I'm familiar with him right offhand. So, okay. So I'm taking it. These are some train cars, probably in like a shed or something.
Actually, it's under a viaduct.
Oh.
Why he picked this, I don't know. But what's overhead is like a bridge.
Okay.
Over there, and these railroad cars were parked underneath there, and what fascinates one person doesn't necessarily fascinate someone else.
Yeah. You never know. And then we have this guy, who's a very friendly looking fellow.
Yep.
So
Golden.
Yes, you got the golden thing working pretty well there. I mean, he looks like a golden. He
Yeah.
or she, yeah. But yeah, that's a nice drawing. It's got kind of a nice feel to it. So
Thank you.
and then this piece, which is a still life.
It's a pastel.
Yeah, and I think you
Oh,
said
that
a
last week.
tackle box.
Yeah, tackle box.
Okay. Yeah.
And a fishing rod and a hat and
Mhm.
a reel.
Okay. How big is this?
It's a let's see, it's 20 by 24 maybe.
Okay. Yeah, it looked bigger. Just looking at the size of the fan under it, so I wasn't sure. And then we got Fran. I don't know whether she's here or not, but she sent in some drawings, and this was a leaf study that she had done. And there's some really nice things about it. Just the kind of whimsical sort of quality of the line to it. And then she did this very mischievous looking cat, which there's something about his character I like a lot.
Yeah.
And, the thing about drawing, there's a lot of different styles to drawing, and you can be very whimsical with it. You can be very, accurate about it. There's no right, wrong about it. It's just, and then I think we had talked about this piece,
Yeah.
last
week.
Yeah, a couple of times. But again, really nice, really nice little sketches, of various people. I thought that one had a lot of movement to it. And
Butterflies.
and then a butterfly. So, and then some elephants. And again, she's got a lot of movement in this. It's again, gives you kind of a nice feeling, when you look at a drawing like this. And it's kind of whimsical in feel. So, something a little more, it's got a guy sitting there reading in a chair. He's got a shirt or something on the back of the chair. She's got, in looking at this, I kept thinking, I wonder if that's Barbara Streisand, at some point. Kind of looks like her a little bit. But, and then this one I find a little bothersome, a little bit, it looks like somebody crashed their car. So, and then Jean, this is yours.
Yes.
Yeah.
My daughter was skiing in, she goes up to Colorado, I think once or twice a year for vacation, and she wanted something to go in her place, and that right there is probably about it's long and narrow.
Uh-huh.
It's probably like 40 inches by maybe 30 by 40, or maybe a little bit longer. I don't remember, but it's long and kind of narrowish.
Okay, so it's a pretty good sized painting then.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And did you paint that with acrylic or oil?
Cool. Yes, I can't do oils. I haven't done oils since 1959. No way.
Well, I had a comment about this painting. You weren't here the other day for it, but when I look at this, you've got these two really strong verticals, right? These birch trees.
Right.
Okay.
Aspen trees.
Yeah. Are they aspens? Okay.
Aspen.
And then you've got this smaller tree here again, which I think is an aspen, right? But
it was a what?
But, you know, in looking at it, it kind of, again, you know, it's kind of in the middle and it kind of follows those two real strong verticals like that.
Right.
And if it were me, you know, I tried, you know, even if it were that way, I would try to do something to make the shape out here a little more irregular so that it's not quite so vertical. Again, you know, because you've got this being very vertical, this being very vertical, all of your background,
Yeah.
you know, it's kind of moving up and down. And
Right.
I would have tried to take this and kind of create something that
Going
kind of
across.
broke that vertical movement a little bit and gave you a little more shape, kind of, you know, move, you know, in and out of the composition with.
Probably would have been better to curve from the left to the right and then back up to the left again instead of going like I did.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you could
Yeah.
design it a lot of different
I
ways.
can see what you're saying, and that's the first time I've even looked at it like that.
Hmm. Yeah. But I mean, you've got a lot of nice elements in there. The way you've handled, you know, the value and the intensity of the color are really, really nice. And, you know, I'm not saying that it's anything wrong with it. I'm just saying I think it could be a more interesting and stronger piece,
Right.
you know, if that shape were, you know, something a little bit different and it, you know, kind of moved your eye through
I
the.
made an opposite C almost out of it.
Uh-huh.
You know, I didn't realize that until you know, commented on it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think the thing that,
That would have been more interesting.
uh-huh. And I think the thing that kind of, you know, makes it kind of fall in line with the other two big tree trunks is how the distance of all of these, you know,
Yes.
for the most part, they're all about the same distance from that trunk. And it just kind of, again, makes that, you know, feel very vertical rather than kind of this interesting shape that's moving, you know, back and forth in front of those
Right.
main tree trunks.
Right.
So
Very good. Yeah.
then we had this piece, and I had a comment on it too. You know, the painting itself I like, and you got a nice feel for the sense that it's nighttime and those buildings are kind of illuminated.
Rescue time. Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Where the only real problem with this is how you took the photo, and the fact that it seemed to have kind of a single light source, and it created this hot spot, so it kind of blew out all the color over there on the right hand side.
Mhm.
And the comment I had made to people is that if you're going to try to shoot your artwork and take photographs of it, you know, don't try to do it with artificial light. You know, I don't know where you live, and I don't know how much access you have to being outdoors somewhere. But if you had a patio, if you had a, you know, a porch or something like that, and you could take it and hang it on like an outside wall, and either do it like early in the morning, you know, before the light gets real directional, but it's real diffused.
Uh-huh.
And that way you'll kind of avoid having those hot spots, you know, on your artwork.
Gotcha.
And it, you know, again, even if you have pieces that are like under glass, you know, that are watercolored, something that have been framed and you're trying to take a picture of it, again, you know, take it outdoors, you know, before the sun really, you know, gets too high. And, you know, and that side of the building is more or less in shadow. You know, not necessarily deep shadow, but, you know, just a shadow and the light's kind of diffused. And try to photograph it under that kind of lighting condition, and your color will be better. You know, different kinds of glass are going to give you, you know, more or less of a reflection of you in the glass.
Right. Well, this is actually acrylic on a hard canvas board.
Yeah.
And I took the picture. I did take the picture on the inside
Mhm.
and not the outside.
Yeah.
And I did have an artificial light coming from the right hand side.
Right.
So but I'm not sure that it was that or if it was partially because of the street lighting at, was coming from more from the right.
Hmm.
But I'm going to try and take it on the, like you suggested, on the outside in the morning or the afternoons late and see if that changes up. I'm just curious now if it changes up the,
Yeah. Okay, because because in looking at this, it looked like it was much lighter over here, and so it's kind of burning out the color. So that's why I thought it was the actual lighting.
I want to try that and see what happens.
Yeah, yeah. I think you'll get more even color.
Right,
I
right,
think will be more accurate to what the painting is really like.
right.
But in the painting, it looks like, even though there's a glare on that side, it looks like the buildings are reflecting that light because
Well,
they're light
Well,
facing it.
or
There
lamp.
was a big light to the right, and it might have affected the way I painted it.
Mhm.
It also might have affected the color, the color. I'm going to have to, when I take another photograph of it, I'm going to see
Okay.
how much more light the right side is, just to see now.
Okay. Yeah. Just do that,
That's a big help.
and let's see.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
see what you got. Okay.
Okay.
Then this is a watercolor, right?
No, this is a watercolor, and I couldn't get it to stick on the canvas board.
Right.
So I put a little of the, I didn't have any gouache, all my colors in that.
Mhm.
I hadn't used them probably in so long, they were just hard as a brick. I couldn't even open it with a knife.
Mm.
But I mixed some white acrylic paint with it, and it helped it stick to the canvas. But it's a canvas board.
Mhm. Okay.
And
Yeah, that's why it looks so opaque.
yeah, right.
Okay. And then we had John send in a piece, and this is the piece that he originally sent in, and then he went back and he added some water using his paper towel since he has no brushes, and so it softened it up a bit, but it also got really dark.
Oh,
Okay. And
Yeah, I noticed that it did, right.
yeah, and that was kind of unfortunate.
Yeah,
But hey, it looks like he's kind of got a shadow, across his face. You could use that to dramatic effect.
that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, you could darken down that ear a little bit and kind of, make this area up here a lot darker so that
Yeah.
it feels like he's standing in a shadow. Um,
would it be possible to lighten it up, say on the cheekbones, by taking a little, even a paper towel or Kleenex with a little water on it to try and blot it up to make it a little lighter?
I don't know. I mean, he's using those water soluble pencils, and I don't know. Have you tried that, John? Have you tried?
Yeah, I have, and that, what you're seeing is a little bit lighter on the cheeks.
Uh-huh. Okay.
That's about as far as I could push it, I think.
Okay. Yeah, the other thing you could do is if you had some of those pencils and they were kind of pastel or lighter values, you might work back over some of those dark areas and see if you could get them to be a little bit lighter.
Yeah, I did try that too with the white, and that's as far as what
That's as
happened.
far as it would go. Okay. Yeah, I was kind of afraid of that.
What about that yellow like you have on the lip and the chin? If you put that up there, would that brighten it up a little bit? Like that up there on the cheekbones?
Yeah, Gene, I tried the white and the yellow and the orange, and I tried blotting with a paper towel. So I say that's about as far as the paper is going to give me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the issue here is that he's already stained the paper to a dark or mid-tone value, and now it's kind of hard to get back those lights.
Right.
Nice piece though, that area around the lips and the neck and all, I think it's pretty.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. If we
Yeah.
took, if we took the background and, we darken this background back here, it would make it begin to look like the lighting situation was really, just lighting up his chin and his neck and shoulders. And then his face would be
Nice, nice
kind
work.
of in shadow. And then you've got,
Very nice.
now we're gonna have the June Wang hour, okay? June sent in, oh God, a couple of drawings at least. And these are really nice. I mean, each of them have some really nice qualities to them. This is a very kind of expressive drawing. If you look at this, I mean, it's kind of reminds me of one of the more representational drawings that Picasso did, in his early career. It just the line work and quality of it kind of remind me of that a little bit. And I'm trying to think, there's another artist who, it's just like the style of the drawings kind of reminds me of, but I can't, I can kind of see the drawings, but I can't remember what the guy's name was. But I'll have to think about that a little bit. But yeah, this is it's a really nice, strong drawing. So yeah, very expressive. And then she's got this little still life. All right.
Yeah.
Now, I was gonna, you've got a certain perspective here. You've got some foreshortening going on because you're up above, these items, kind of looking down on them. And you kind of begin to pull it off with this cup and this, and then the little tray here. And even this bottle right here kind of, again, feels like you've got that foreshortened sort of perspective. But then you get to this apple. And the apple, it feels round, but it doesn't feel like it's sitting on the same surface or at the same angle as the cups and things are at. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So my thought is, if the ellipse is this open on this cup, and this apple is lower than that cup, then the ellipse on this apple is going to be a lot more open as well. And see, we see way more side here, than we do top. And in this case, looking down on it the way that we are, you would expect to see far more top and far less of the side.
Less, yeah, okay.
Okay. And then,
Okay.
I think if you did something with that, to kind of, again, bring the top of the apple, down here and kind of follow that same ellipse that you did with your cup and your little pot over there, then it would kind of feel like all of those objects are kind of sitting on the same surface.
So, okay.
Yeah. Because right now, like I said, the apple feels kind of like you're looking more at the side of it. It's tipped up at a different angle than the cup.
What's the item? What's the item between the pot and the vase?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. Yeah, what is this?
Which one?
The whatever this is right here.
Like
Oh.
a horse, a glass.
This is the health something. If like you massage your head or something, this comes from
Oh.
China.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was kind of looking at that. It kind of reminded me of, is that kind of Gumby or what? Kind of reminded me of.
Yeah, you can massage it everywhere.
You can massage everywhere? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. But whatever it is,
Plastic. Yeah.
yeah, whatever it is, it seems to be in the, the right perspective with all of your items back here. It's only the apple that seems to be out of kilter
Mm.
Okay.
with things. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And then I really like this. This is
I
kind
do too.
so what's the story behind this, June?
This has come from the Facebook. I saw
Okay.
the picture. I like it. I just draw. Yeah, like copy this. this is a Chinese character. It's from the Bible.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
But now that was not, that was not part of the drawing, right? That's something that you wrote?
Yes, I wrote it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And so I guess my question is, what is the significance of the writing in, to the image?
Okay, yeah, just because maybe this is because virus is now is very, other people worry about healthy, cannot go outside, so this is so we need to read more Bible. From the Bible give us the stress to face
Okay.
our situation.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I was
I-
just wondering how they kind of related to each other. Since my Chinese is not that good,
I like the way the skirts move on the little girl.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very expressive
Yeah.
drawing,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
that's what I was saying earlier. It's like, between this drawing right here,
Mhm.
again, it's a very sort of expressive drawing.
Mhm.
And this drawing right here, your figures are getting better. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, they're, showing a little bit of movement, and, in particular, I like the dress. And guess what?
Holes.
I think you've been listening to me, because
Yes, I learn from you a lot.
I know,
I
look at the
try to
fold.
do it. Sometimes I understand, but it's hard to do it. I need to learn a little bit more, a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, you've got quite a few folds here, but the nice thing is that they're all sort of different, right?
Mhm.
And they don't create that pattern. And you see that a lot, when people do, fabric, and particularly fabric that's sort of around a form. They tend to make kind of a lot of repetitive folds and things that you don't really need. But, these are just enough, to really kind of get the feeling that she's in the middle of moving. And it's a nice effect. You did that well.
Thank you.
We got, this lady right here. Now, the face is really distorted, but at the same time, again, it kind of adds to the character of the drawing. It's an interesting drawing. Who is this? Do we know?
I don't know. Looks like she is the one actress.
Oh, she's an actress. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought the book from the I'm not sure you know the Carl Ness. He have a lot of video, the YouTube.
Okay.
So she have some book. I bought one. It's a headshots
Okay.
from him.
Yeah.
His book.
Okay.
So I try to learn how to draw the figure,
Mhm.
the head.
Okay. All right. Well, you definitely have a head. Okay. The thing is, it's kind of distorted, right?
Mhm.
In looking at, her head, my guess is, because we're looking at it from the side, right, that
Yeah.
this head is much wider than it is, than what you've drawn it. See, if the back of her head stopped back over here, then proportionally, that would feel more like the proportions of her head. Because, most people, the distance from like the front plane of their face back to the back of their head is about generally the same distance as from the chin to about the top of the head. They're usually pretty close.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Now, every once in a while, you'll get somebody who's a little bit unusual, but this is kind of extreme. Okay. And And I pointed it out because I noticed it actually on a couple of your drawings. You have a tendency to kind of squish people's heads, when you're doing side views,
Mhm.
like this next lady coming up.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. See the distance in here? Feels kind of narrow,
Narrow. Okay. Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, again, it's like if it were just a little bit wider, then the proportion of the head might feel, a little better. Okay.
Mhm.
Now this one, the next drawing you got fairly close. See?
Oh,
Yeah. So the width and the height
uh-huh.
feel
Height.
kind of appropriate. Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. There we go. Now this was nice. I mean, it's a very, again, it's a very expressive sort of drawing, and even the fact you kind of concentrated on the actual features of the face, and everything is kind of stylized and angular, and then these seem a lot sharper, and then you get up here, and because you've changed the value, these are lighter, and so they're softer, and they kind of sit in the background. So you really, it's pretty effective at drawing your eye, really right to the focal point, which is really this woman's features,
Mhm.
front plane of her face. So that one's working, pretty nicely for you. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, and your proportions are pretty good on that one too. Then we have this girl, and I recognize who she was, right?
Yeah, I remember
It's
that
not
one.
like
Yeah.
the lady.
Okay. And again, the distance across, the front plane of her face, to this shadow, and then from here back, this seems kind of narrow,
Yeah. I got it. Yeah.
a little bit wider in there. Okay.
Mhm. Yes.
Okay. And then the same thing with the neckline. It seems to be kind of far over. It's probably a little further back and maybe not quite straight up and down.
Okay.
Let's see. And then I think this is the last one you sent in. And I really like this drawing a lot. Now, there's things I really like about it. There's things that, okay, could be better. But,
Okay.
I like the idea of it and the feeling of it. Just it looks like a child, sitting in the grass, kind of under a tree. And I'm guessing that she's kind of watching the sunset.
Yeah.
Is that kind of what's going on?
Yeah. This is like I'm going to show you went to the Low Roswell Azalea. This is one Azalea Park. Azalea. Do you know Low Roswell have the Chattahoochee River? Over there have park. It's very nice. I went to over there. I took the picture.
Oh, okay.
And I added as a little girl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Well, here's kind of where I would go with it, okay? Because I looked at that and I kind of thought, I want to steal that idea from June.
Yeah.
I do. But what I would have done is, you see this tree right here?
Yeah.
It's kind of dark, right?
Yeah.
And I would have probably made it darker, and then kept whatever back here is in the mid-tone, kept that mid-tone so that the tree really comes in front of it. It gets a little confusing right in here. It all kind of mushes together, right?
I know.
And then the other thing is, rather than have it come in like this, I'd have it come in from the top.
Okay.
And take up more space in the composition. And then the other thing is, you see this line?
Yeah.
Whether that's the edge of the river or whatever that is, I would move it. And I would,
okay.
I would either move it up so that it's away from the girl's head, or I would move it down so that the breaks in front of it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because right now you've got it right at the top of her head.
Yeah.
And it kind of feels like it's sitting on top of her head. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is her head proportional to her body?
Yeah, the proportion is a little bit off, but again, you
Yeah.
know, she's a young child, so you know they do kind of have big heads. So depending, you know, if she's like 4, maybe 5 years old,
Mhm.
yeah, not that far off. Okay,
Mhm.
you know, the feet and things could be a little bigger,
Yeah.
but yeah, again,
Yeah.
you know, if she's just a 4 or 5 year old, then that makes sense. Now, if she's a teenager,
Mhm.
yeah, no,
Mhm.
then those proportions totally change. Okay. But I kind of
Okay.
read this as though, you know, she's probably a 3 or 4 year old little girl
Yeah.
sitting out there. Um, but like I said, you know, there's a lot of really nice things about this. Okay. And like I said, I kind of want to steal that idea. Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Thank you.
so I might steal that idea from you and do something with it.
That's a compliment.
Pardon?
I just said that's a compliment. When
Yeah.
someone copies your idea, that's really a great compliment.
Well, yeah, I kind of meant it that way. So, yeah, but no, it is. You know, it's got a nice kind of storytelling quality to it.
Mhm.
You know, that you could really do something with. And you know, and I guess I'm being a little sentimental since I have well, now I have 2 granddaughters and 2 grandsons. You know, and so I could use any one of them.
Oh, okay.
You
Yeah.
know, in something like that.
Picture. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So then this is Sir Lawrence. You know, all right, Daddy-o, can you talk?
Uh-uh.
Here.
Okay. Can you talk louder?
I guess, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Okay. All right. So tell us what's going on with your Archer lady.
Well, I started out with her and
Mhm.
thought the picture looked a little empty, so I added in a column and some grass and some flowers.
All right.
And I still feel like I need to add something else back in there.
Yeah, you could use more. Now, okay, let me just make a comment. All right. You know, you're indicating the direction of the light, you know, shining on the column and shining on her, you know, by these cast shadows, right?
Mhm.
And that's fine. It's nice that you've, you know, that you've done that. The thing is, what I would kind of recommend, you know, you could add, you know, like some more whatever the surface is that she's standing on, and I guess why is there a column there? Is it a part of something bigger? Is it just kind of randomly out there in the middle, floating around in the universe? You know, what's it doing? Because right now, it feels like they're on something because you've got those cast shadows, but we don't really know where it is. So if you kind of added something to give it a little context, I think that could make the drawing a little more complete, a little bit stronger.
Well, it's my way of drawing something for an ad, and it's for women's perfume. It's called Archer, and it's supposed to be used all the way back into biblical times, back into the Romans. Is that a good enough? Is that wild enough for you?
Yeah, it is. I had no idea there was a perfume called Archer out there. Any of you ladies wear Archer?
It is now. It's brand new perfume.
You're gonna go look it up online.
No. I mean, I thought he just invented it.
I don't know. You know.
Well, you asked me to come up with something. That's the best I can do on the spot.
Okay. Well, you did good. You did good. Okay.
Does anything really have to have a reason to draw it?
No.
The
Oh,
pencil said, put this on the paper, and I did.
Okay.
It looks like she's standing in midair. You need a line to show I guess where your sight line is, a line going across the bottom.
Yeah,
So she's standing on something in this atmosphere above her.
Yeah, kind of a horizon line, something like that. Yeah, again,
Only
kind of
low.
reinforce that idea that they're anchored, you know,
Yeah.
to something. Yeah.
I could put an anchor on that column.
I didn't say put an anchor. I said something, that horizon line that would anchor them.
Oh,
All together.
It's a little different. Anyway,
I thought she was cute.
oh, yeah, okay.
Just on cute, you should have just done her and that's it.
Yeah, he could
Well, I
have.
did, and she looked kind of bare standing there.
Right.
That's because it's still missing that horizon line. That would really anchor everything with or without the rest of the stuff.
Yeah, like I said, it would put her and the column and everything in some kind of context so that they're not just floating out there.
But the way it is now gives me sort of a mythical idea that she's on Earth and the column is on Mount Olympus or something, that it's sort of ephemeral with atmospheric rather than definite line
I
horizon.
like that, John. Thank you.
All right.
All right, so we
Can I draw her without the skirt next time?
Oh.
I'm not an editor, okay? So
You were.
whatever you want to do, that's fine. Again,
It was fun. Thank you.
just keep it family friendly, okay?
Art is not always friendly to everyone.
Well, no, it's not, but this being a Fulton County class, there's certain things that we can avoid, okay? So anyway, moving on, okay? Naomi, she's here, okay? I see Naomi's graphic face there.
Okay, am I unmuted?
You're unmuted.
Okay, there I am. You
Yeah.
see, these colored pencils are difficult for me.
Now, what kind of color pencils have you got?
Cheapy. You know how at the end of the season, Michael has sales on these big kits, and you get all this stuff in the kit. So I decided to start using some of the colored pencils, but it's not as easy as watercolor.
Yeah. No. I've worked with colored pencils for quite a few years when I was an illustrator, and normally what I would do is I would use like acrylic paint on an illustration board to block in big shapes, and then I'd use colored pencils to sort
Oh,
of
that's a
build
good
up-
idea.
build up
That's
the
giving me a
detail.
good idea.
Yeah. But now the thing I'll say about using colored pencils, all right? Most colored pencils, some are better than others. Some have more pigment in them than others. But really the thing that makes all the difference in the world with colored pencil is not the pencil, it's the paper that you use.
So what kind of paper should I use?
If you had a really good quality bond paper or some kind of Bristol board or something like that, they would take the colored pencil a lot better.
What about watercolor paper?
Watercolor paper, again, if it's a plate finish and it's real smooth, then it
Oh,
will
no.
work pretty well. If it's real rough, then you might have trouble, laying down the color, kind of evenly. But
That's
the
the
thing
thing.
that works best for me is either what they call a Bristol board and or a hot press illustration board.
I'm going to try what you said about blocking it in with the watercolor.
Yeah, either
I'm gonna,
either watercolor or acrylic, and then after it's totally dry, you can come back in and use the colored pencil to sharpen up edges and put in details, things
yeah.
like that. Okay?
Now the next one is colored pencil again, the dog.
Yeah.
Now this is just colored pencil, not the watercolor pencil like that.
No, I have watercolor pencil, but I wanted to use these up, and I find the shading is they're just cheap garbage pencils. That's
Got
get
some-
what you pay for.
One paper I've found that's really good is the Strathmore Bristol. It's got a little bit of tooth to it.
Right.
And it's like, I think series 400, I think is what it is.
Mhm.
And I found that really, really nice because it's got a good tooth to it. It'll take color nicely.
Yeah, I'll work on it.
Yeah, and Bristol board is well that or like like a cold press or even a plate finish illustration board. None of that stuff is really expensive. They're pretty affordable. Particularly when you start comparing them to like canvases and things like that. And for years, I would say probably about 90% of the work that I did when I was working as an illustrator was all on illustration board. And, working on a paper surface and particularly mixed media, you can really do a lot with it. And if you get a pretty good quality, like I would get a double weight, what they call watercolor board. So it's real stiff and it's real thick. And, with the, and it was a Strathmore product, and it was a cold press finish, but it was like a real smooth plate finish on it. And it took paint really beautifully. And if you drew on it, it had enough tooth that would take the either colored pencil or graphite or whatever you were drawing in. And so it was a nice substrate to do sort of like mixed media pieces and things on. And if you needed to get it off of that hard surface, you could always just peel, take a roll or something and then peel the whole piece off and then remount it on whatever you wanted to mount it on. But yeah, I've got tons of those downstairs, old illustrations that I did.
We'd like to see them. How about showing us your old illustrations?
I could
That
do
would be
that.
interesting.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got flat files full of them. So yeah, tons of stuff. This is, I like where you're going with this, Naomi. I do. Now, that being said, I like the shapes and things. Again, I really want you to kind of work on that whole idea of stopping to think about, instead of color, think about value and how, one value sort of transitions into another. And do these make sense as far as making that shape or form, feel like it's three-dimensional? Because right now it's more like a pattern and it's kind of flat because of the way you use color.
It's a design.
Okay. But
it's just a design.
Okay. But I'm going to push you and challenge you.
Yeah, I'm going to do that, but I'm going to do it with watercolor. This is the pencil.
Okay.
Again.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it with the watercolor.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want you to work on that because I think you can make this idea really work, quite well. It's just you have to figure out, how to translate, rather than color, think about color and value. And
okay, color and value. Okay,
yeah.
I'm going to work on it.
Okay, because then these would kind of take on a more dimensional shape.
And if we were at Benson, you would come over and show me.
Yeah, I could, but yeah.
That's the problem with this. In Benson, you would come over and say, "Oh, that's wrong," and you would show me. That's what I liked about Benson.
Naomi, did I ever tell you anything was wrong?
Yes, and I like that.
I didn't.
Yes, you would say, you would come over and say, "This is a problem," or that, and work on it. I like that.
Yeah.
Hey, if it was good, I wouldn't need a teacher, right? That's the purpose of a teacher. Oh yeah, you would come over and correct it, and then show me to do it on the rest of the pencil. Like you do one eye, and it was good. I miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't you think there's a little bit of value attempt there on the left cheek?
Yeah, over here.
Right.
Yeah, again, I think she got kind of dark in here. And if she could have kept these in kind of a similar value range or softer value range,
Uh-huh.
they would turn and feel more dimensional.
Okay, so you want me to turn. You want me to turn with the
I'm-
value.
Yeah, I'm kind of suggesting that you do
I'm
that.
going to work on that.
So again, color can be anything, but think about the value.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about that, I'm sure.
Oh, this is crazy.
Yeah, this is crazy. And I like it, I mean, it's a bit scary looking,
Yes,
but
It
again,
is.
kind of like with June's pieces, it's got a certain kind of emotion to it, that I like. It's kind of fun. So,
just the design.
okay. All right. Just the design.
Just the design.
I would still say the same thing. Play with your values. Now here you've got a drawing, and again, this face is beginning to kind of feel kind of soft and kind of round, right? Now,
Yeah.
if you could use all your crazy colors on this face and keep the value structure about the same,
Yeah.
you'd be doing something, girlfriend.
So you think I should first draw and then put the color in over the drawing?
No, but I think you should think about, if I'm going to use a blue, am I going to make that blue as dark as I can, or am I going to make it?
Oh, yeah, monochromatic. Okay.
Well, it could be blues, reds, pinks, oranges.
Mm,
Use every color in the universe.
yeah.
Again, though, if the value structure kind of followed the same value structure as this drawing,
Uh-huh.
regardless of what the colors were, it would still feel round.
I'm gonna work on that.
Okay.
I'm taking notes.
Okay.
Now this is crazy.
Yeah. This kind of reminds me of something out of about the 50s or the early 60s. Kind of an editorial or book cover type, thing. It sort of has that feeling. She's a little intense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, just like the artist.
Well, I wasn't going to go there, but okay. All right. And again, see your faces, when you're drawing and you're only using, one color or doing monochromatic type stuff. See, you're beginning to get some structure. You're beginning to get a little more form in your drawings. They're not quite so flat, right? And so again, if you could make that leap from, having that kind of softness and roundness and be able to do that even while you're using color, that would be a good thing. And then we have this guy, again, kind of scary. I kind of feel like he's coming after me,
Yes.
It's
the pandemic.
Oh, is that the pandemic? Okay.
That's the pandemic.
Yeah, I thought it was Quetzalcoatl.
Oh.
I think they were Toltec that, worship Quetzalcoatl. He was sort of like, this big bird that would come down out of the sky. And, he was
I'm
like,
afraid of birds.
yeah,
I don't like birds. They scare me.
okay. You watch too much,
I don't like anything flying at me.
no?
I feel they're going to come right at me.
Yeah. Oh God, I've forgotten his name. Who's the guy who did the birds?
Alfred Hitchcock.
Alfred Hitchcock, yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't have seen that movie.
Okay.
Turkey.
Yeah. Actually, that would probably be a good illustration, for, a cover,
Yes.
of the birds. So, yeah. It's appropriately scary enough. All right. And then you got a figure. So, you're getting there. You're figuring it out. Now, here's the things I like about this drawing, okay? And then there's a couple of things I don't like about it.
Okay.
All right. So I like the movement, all the way through the figure. All of that's working pretty well.
Okay.
Okay. It does feel like the shoulders and everything are moving away from you and the hips are coming forward, right? And so, she's got, she's not sitting straight up and down, she's kind of leaning forward. And you get that feeling. And the way that you've broken the hip in front of, say, the lower part of the back, all of that's working kind of nicely. And then the hip right here. So again, all of that's working really nicely. The only real complaint I've got about it is this leg right here and the foot.
It should be larger?
Yeah, because if it's coming toward us, right,
Okay,
then it's going to be bigger.
yes,
Not that it's really going to be bigger, but it's going to appear
Yeah.
to be larger because it is closer to us. And again, that would help you sort of enhance that idea that the figure is moving away from you. And so if that leg had just, if you had enlarged it so that maybe the knee was here and that the
oh, the whole leg should be larger. I see
Yeah.
what you mean.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
then that whole part of her body would feel like it's coming, towards you more. Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, little thing, big thing,
You know what my problem is? I get bored. I should look at it again. Now when you're looking at it, I'm looking at it, I see what I don't like.
Okay. Well, and that's true with all of us. We all need to go back and, and one thing is while you're working on it, you need to get up, you need to leave for a while, and then you need to come back and look at it.
Yeah, because
know.
now I'm looking at it and I see everything you're saying.
Yeah.
I have to work at that. Oh, that's beautiful.
Yes. And I'm thinking this is Wanda.
I don't think she's here. I don't see her.
Yeah,
name.
I don't
Beautiful.
think it's here either. But yeah, this is a really nice little piece, or maybe not so little. It's
Interesting.
it's not real big. Yeah, I would, she had asked me about this piece, and this was like her Mother Nature piece. And so, this woman is, part tree, part woman. And it looks like she's actually pasting actual leaves, on the surface right here in some cases.
I think she did. Yeah.
Yeah. And, it's a nice idea. The problem, with putting leaves and things like that on a painting is that I don't care what you do, even if you encase them in acrylic, eventually they're going to turn brown. And they're not
Oh,
green.
Oh, okay.
Now, I've
You know-
done that, where I've embedded leaves and things, but then I go back and I actually put paint on top of them.
They
So
they,
that-
they may not have been live leaves. They may have been the floral type leaves.
Yeah, I'm looking at these though, and I'm kind of thinking maybe they're actually real leaves.
Oh, okay.
But you could actually use, like leaves out of like silk flowers or something like that.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
what I thought they were.
And they may,
Oh,
yeah.
you did a floral with leaves. Was it the other day? Your painting, it was some flowers with leaves.
Me?
Yes, it was your painting. It was flowers in a pot with leaves. And I wanted to tell you, the leaves look so shiny.
Mhm.
I wanted to know how you got that effect, that it looked so real and so shiny.
Mm.
Values.
Value, it
Mhm.
was, the leaves were wonderful.
Anyhow. And then she also did this piece. Well, this is not
That's
her.
her piece right there.
Yeah, well, this is the piece that she took
Copy.
the inspiration from, and
Right.
this is her drawing of it.
Beautiful.
So not quite the same. She's working on a darker background, but she's headed in the right direction. And mainly she just needs a little more contrast in it. And probably if it were actually in light and didn't have her shadow, covering up most of it, it would probably look a lot different. So,
Actually, last week you told me not to copy so much, but try to do something original, like use my own face or something like that.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would say the same thing to her. It's a great idea, but yeah, I would like to see her take this and then, do something with it that again, you know, is more personal.
Right.
You know, it's,
By the way, those are Bernice.
oh, okay. All right. This is yours?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. All right. So, you know, again, you know, taking ideas, you know, borrowing ideas.
But don't copy.
No, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with stealing an idea. But if you're going to steal an idea, steal it and make it better. And make it more your own. See? You know, take it and put your own unique spin on it rather than just copy it. Okay?
Charles, could you go back to that last one? That painting of the mother.
Yeah, that's one.
Can you get closer in?
Yeah.
Her hand.
I'm looking at the top left
The top left.
of that painting. Yeah,
Okay. You mean where the peach or whatever is hanging on the tree?
a little more.
Yeah.
See, the limb is hanging off the
Yeah.
painting.
Right. Yeah. She's actually got a branch there.
So she actually laid that on the on painting. Is that
Right.
right?
Yeah. And then the same, that's why I was kind of questioning these leaves right here, because I think they're actual leaves. Now they could be leaves from, like, you know, like a fake plant. And even
No,
the
cactus.
Huh?
Cactus leaf.
cactus leaf. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not
Succulents plant.
of some sort. But and again, I don't know whether they're actual, like, real living leaves or whether they're silk or something.
I just thought it was fantastic painting.
Yeah, it is. It's a great piece. I want to see her. So anyway, well, guess
Thank
what?
you.
We're over by about 6 minutes, and it's been fun. You know, thank you all for coming and you know, hanging out in the class. And I guess we will see you on Monday.
Are you going to put out another schedule for Monday, or we're going to use the same thing?
No, those links will be good for 8 weeks.
Oh, okay, because they have dates on it. This is August 7th, so that'll be the same thing for next Friday.
Well, if you look, there's like 8 different, right? And it's good for all of those.
Okay.
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 So, and there should be 2 for Monday, 2 for Wednesday, and 2 for Fridays.
Okay.
Okay. And if any of you have problems, you know, with that, or if you don't have the links or whatever, shoot me an email. I will try to get to my Fulton County email whenever they decide to, you know, get that up and running. And then I'll respond to you. Okay.
If you know how to do it, I just downloaded them to my calendar, and I get a reminder at the hour. All I got to do is tap it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think a lot of that stuff you can download to, like, your Google or Yahoo Calendar.
Right, it works really great.
Yeah, it will give you a reminder that, yeah, you're supposed to be there, you know, with your cup of coffee in hand, ready for a class, right?
And it has the link as well.
Okay. All right, good. And now I do know I updated that Excel sheet and I sent it in. And supposedly, I think they've sent everybody out a new email with those links. Okay. So you should have gotten something from Fulton County at this point, you know, with those as well, not just me.
Charles,
Yes.
this is Bob. Well, that
Yeah.
that thing that Dolly Disney thing is called Destino, Destino, and it's about 7 minutes long, and it's really very interesting. And some of the stuff that you were talking about today, as far as horizon lines and anchoring things, you'll see in that thing how a little bit of anchoring goes a long way.
What is that again? Could you repeat that?
It's called it's a Disney Dolly little movie, and it's about 7 minutes long, and it's called Destino, Destino.
Okay, I'll look that up. Destino. All right.
Charles, I missed this morning the video, the first part. Could you send me the link? This is Linda Lim.
Well, I played like 2 or 3. Which
I only saw, I came in late though. That's why I
Okay,
missed
so
the
you
link.
probably
Just for the
just-
audience.
Yeah, you probably just saw the second one. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. Well, yeah, if I can get back to my county email before the weekend,
Uh-huh.
I will.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Okay. Well,
Could you
guys,
send it to all of us? You mean
Yeah.
the one with the depth, that little short?
yeah.
Oh, could you send it to all of us? I
Yeah.
could look at that again.
Okay. Yeah, I'll
I
try. to
like
send out
that.
Yeah, I'll try to send out a link.
It
To
was great.
Both of them,
All right.
please. I was late too.
Okay. Yeah. At any rate, I hope everybody has a great weekend. All right. Don't go to any tattoo parlors. Don't hang out in bars. Take care of yourself. Stay healthy. Right. And we'll see you back here on Monday. Okay.
Have a good weekend.
Thank you, Charles.
All right.
Thank you
you.
very much.
You guys take
Appreciate
care.
it.
Bye,
Have a good
everybody.
weekend. Bye-bye.
All right.